What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're going to talk about Ethereum and look back at the 2017 market and compare it to our current market like we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. We're also going to look at the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio to see if we can find any clues on what is coming next. If you guys enjoy the no Bybit shills, make sure you guys hit up that like button. Now let's not waste any time and jump on into the video. So Ethereum, we've been looking at this for the last couple weeks, guys. This is no surprise. We knew this was sort of might play out the sort of way that it played out in 2017, right? If you're new to the channel, well, let's compare to what happened in 2017 to what's happening in our current market. So guys, this is the 2017 market right over here, okay? Right over here. You can see what happened in 2017. We had the same double top in the pretty long consolidation in between, okay? The same thing that we did in our current market that we're looking at over here to the right, right? And they're very, very similar. We'll go over why they're so similar, guys. You guys can see we had a double peak, and a lot of people are going to say, oh, we're going to have a double peak cycle for a lot of these altcoins. Well, I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Why do I beg to differ? Well, because Ethereum did this in 2017, right? This is no surprise. We've seen this before. We've been talking about this for a couple different weeks now, that this could be an option for Ethereum. So let's not sit here and act surprised, right? Because we knew this was a possibility. We look here for ETH. We had the double top 2017, came back down, bounced off our weekly support band, right? Which for Ethereum I have as our 20-week SMA and our 30-week SMA. Bounced up, made a double top, right? We made a double top here in 2017, came back down to our weekly support band, had one wick into the weekly support band, and then bounced again and sort of made our way up from there, right? We made our way up from there after approximate consolidation off the weekly support band for about 9 weeks. So about 2 months in 1 week, right? So pretty long time of consolidation, right? Pretty long time of consolidation. If we look back here to the right, what you'll notice is a pretty similar thing, guys. And we've been looking at this for a while, right? Our double top with consolidation in the middle to our weekly support band, right? Just like we did back here in 2017, our consolidation to our weekly support band. We came back up, and what have we just done, right? We wicked in to our 20-week SMA and our 20-week and 30-week SMA, right? So what would we expect from there? Well, you can see from there, in 2017, we sort of consolidated for 8 weeks, right? And then we sort of continued up. And that would sort of support the fact that we might top out maybe in sometime in 2022. I'm under the assumption to get like that as well. As my fellow Ben Cowan definitely would agree with me that, we're definitely going into 2022. I do think that will top out at the end of Q1 to the beginning of Q2 in 2022. In my personal opinion, I don't think we top out this year. I do think that we hit all-time highs by the end of this year for Bitcoin and a lot of different altcoins as well, but that's besides the fact. So if we were to do what we did last time and consolidate for about 2 months or so, that would probably put us breaking our highs somewhere around the middle of November. Now, does it have to play out like it did exactly in 2017? No, we could do something completely different. We could even break our sort of our support bands here. Like we were saying, there is a time where we did something similar, a double top, and we actually broke below temporarily and then bounced right back up. So that's always an option for us too. We can't count out that scenario. It's not always rainbows and sunshines in crypto, as we like to say, guys. We have to look at all the scenarios, and that could be a scenario too, where this doesn't hold and we came back down here for maybe 2 months instead of consolidating in this range, for 2 months, and then we sort of go, right? That's always an option here. We can't rule that out for Ethereum. So like I said, if it was to play out before, maybe 2 months of sideways and continue up, I'm hoping we just go up, right? As many of you guys probably just hope it goes up, but that's not always how the crypto markets are going, right? There's a lot of outside factors in the crypto markets. We have to pay attention to what's going outside of crypto. What I will say is, if we actually go to the daily chart here, we are forming what I like to call a falling wedgie, right? A falling wedgie. And these have been playing out very, very well for us in the past for Bitcoin and in Ethereum, right? So these are typically bullish patterns that will break up to the upside, typically, right? Typically. Now, what I will say is we have our 200-day EMA here. And why am I looking at the 200-day EMA exclusively? Well, you might say, Jordan, the 200-day EMA, why is that so important? Well, We haven't came back down and tested it yet. And what's interesting, if we go back to that same consolidation we had in 2017, guys, and we actually look what happened, you can see on both the touches on the double top. So we obviously had the double top here, and we came back down and wicked off of it on the first touch, right? And then we actually came back down and wicked off it on the second touch. So do we have to come back down and test that 200-day EMA for a second time, right? It's certainly a possibility. It's certainly a possibility, and that's what we did back in 2017 before continuing our run up a couple months later. What would that look like right now? Well, if we go to look on the right, if we go look back over here, you could see that we actually, what's interesting, I think, as we know, guys, there's a lot of outside stuff going on outside of crypto, but you can see on our first dip here, we actually did come and wick off the 200-day EMA. Obviously, we came back up, and then we sort of consolidated here, which is a whole different topic that we won't talk about here, but do we have to come back down and come back off the 200-day EMA? Right now, that sits at about 2,500. Once again, it's not terribly unlikely that we do go down and test that, right? But also, I mean, ETH could just tell, you know, Jordan, screw you, and I'm going to go up back up to the upside. That's obviously a possibility here too. But I'm just strictly looking at what happened in 2017. It could be a possibility we go maybe a little bit lower. We've been talking about that on stream a lot. But it's also a possibility that this wedge plays out and ETH just goes up and tests its target back up at its highs, right? That's always a possibility as well. So we're sort of looking at both scenarios here and what kind of happened and what could happen here. Always keep your eyes open on the possibilities of what Ethereum could do over these next couple weeks, because like I said, guys, it's not always rainbows and sunshines. There'll be bad days, there'll be good days, but we know what the future of crypto holds. We know what the long-term trend of crypto holds. Just zoom out on the Ethereum chart. It'll tell you the long-term future of crypto, not only Ethereum, but Bitcoin and all the cryptos, right? It's not always rainbows and sunshines, and we could go maybe one more step down, maybe, right? Now, the ETH-Bitcoin ratio, I wanted to look at what's typically happened in Q4 for the ETH-Bitcoin ratio. Now, typically, and it's sort of a good sample size now, because when we look at it, there's plenty of times that we were in a bull market, in a bear market, in some of these examples. If you look, typically, guys, Ethereum doesn't perform well against Bitcoin in Q4. It's usually Bitcoin's time to shine, which would be really, really good for the crypto market if it actually ended up being crypto's time to shine. Will this year be different? Well, you can look back in the past, guys. I put red boxes on all the Q4s for the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio. And you can see typically Bitcoin does outpace Ethereum. Not even typically. I think it's every single time except here in 2018, which, as we know, was sort of the end of the bear market in 2018. So it's a little bit different. But you can see typically, I mean, 2015 was sort of a downtrend for Ethereum against Bitcoin, downtrend in 2016, downtrend in 2017, downtrend in 2019, downtrend in 2020. So typically it does not outperform Bitcoin in Q4. Will that trend change this year? We'll see. But what we can say is, what's interesting after all these red boxes, guys, after that, besides 2018, Ethereum has gone on to have a massive run against Bitcoin. I mean, look at Q1 here in 2016, Q1 in 2017, right? Q1 in 2018. We even look past Q1 in 2019, Q1 in 2020. I mean, typically it's been a very, very good time for Ethereum against Bitcoin. In Q1, we'll see what happens in Q4. Maybe we buck the trend and we do something a little bit different than we typically haven't done before. But I'm just looking at what's happened in the past, and you know, that's sort of what we're looking at. What I will say is we're still above our previous resistance, flipped it to support. So the general structure of this is still really good. And I honestly, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ethereum start moving up against Bitcoin here sooner rather than later, just because we've been consolidating for a good amount of time. You can see we've been consolidating for a good amount of time. So who knows, right? Who knows? This is the fun of crypto. We don't know what's going to happen between these, these pairs here. But I'm just strictly looking at what's happened in the past. All right, guys, so just a quick video on Ethereum. I'll probably be uploading a second video later today, so be looking out for that. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you enjoyed. Go follow me on Twitter and Discord, links down in the description down below. Hit the like for the no Bybit links. All right, peace.